So I'm not kidding. This is the OnePlus 9 Pro, and I have 3 reasons why you might consider getting the OnePlus 9 Pro in 2023, because this is a very underrated smartphone for so many reasons. Currently, you do have the OnePlus 10 Pro, which is an upgrade and it has some features that are better, but essentially it's the same smartphone. But the reason why I would pick this is because you get more value for the money you spend on it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, like the reasons why you might consider getting the OnePlus 9 Pro. So to me, it's all about 3 reasons. It's the camera. It's the camera system. It's very, very impressive. And it has some features that most smartphones do not have. So for example, some brands do have 8K recording, but this one actually has 8K on the main sensor, the ultra wide, and the ultra wide, being able to shoot 8K in ultra wide, that's something that's very beneficial, especially if you're vlogging or doing whatever. It's very useful. I really like that. The second thing is the 4K 120 frames per second. And you might have seen that some brands do have it, and the GoPro Hero 10, the GoPro Hero 11, 4K 120 frames per second. It's like the idea is to get really good image quality while in slow motion. And the problem for me is that when you're shooting on the GoPro Hero 10, it just doesn't look good. Like, it looks dreadful, to be completely honest. You need lots of light, and it just doesn't look that much better in 1080p. But on the OnePlus 9 Pro, the 4K 120 frames per second, it actually looks really good. It actually looks like 4K. It looks so much better than most slow motion modes that I've seen on smartphones, like 240p and stuff like that. And 120 frames per second is really all that you need. So that's a huge plus, if you ask me. The third thing is that you probably noticed that there are 4 cameras here on the back. One camera is the telephoto lens, which is 3.3x, which is okay, but it's only 12 megapixels. That's a bit of a shame, but it's really good. I like it. But then we have the 4th camera, and this is where some really interesting magic happens. You can actually shoot monochrome photos, black and white photos. Now, some people might ask, but what's the point? Well, it's kind of a technical aspect to explain it, but basically you get sharper images because the camera doesn't have to focus on getting the right color production and stuff like that. So black and white is actually pretty cool. As far as the design goes on the OnePlus 9 Pro, I think it's pretty much the coolest looking smartphone I've ever held in my hands. I think it's really good. I think it's very underappreciated, basically. It's a very nice design. It's nice to hold. It's got a nice size. It's a bit longer than most smartphones, but it's not too thick, so I really like it. Now, it's got kind of curved edges on the screen, which actually sometimes I get annoyed with it, but it's looking very good. It sort of feels like the image sort of pops out of the screen. It's sort of like a 3D effect, and I actually really like it. Go nuts. Battery life is also very solid on the OnePlus 9 Pro. The screen is fantastic as far as image quality goes. Cameras are all spectacular in low light, and you got your 50 megapixels on the ultra wide, 50 megapixels on the main, and 12 megapixels on the telephoto. So it's really good. Really like it. As far as speed and performance, I'm not much of a gamer. I haven't tested a single game on this thing, but performance wise, it's very quick. It's got that 120 frames per second screen, so high refresh rate is very valuable for a lot of people. This one has it covered. But yeah, it feels snappy to use, and I like it. Now, full disclosure, I'm more of an iPhone person, but if I was gonna pick a Android device, and I do pick up Android devices every year because I think they're more fun to play around with. If I was to get an Android device to use for every day, I would pick the OnePlus 9 Pro, hands down. This is a very solid smartphone, and I really like it. Okay, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this little review of the OnePlus 9 Pro. Very valuable smartphone indeed.